The Final Fantasy XIV story is great, and I wouldn't shit on it like I might someone who claims pineapple deserves to be on pizza, but put yourselves in the shoes of your next Jerry looking to play the game. How's it going, Royals? I'm Myth, the loud fellow being gatekept from his own voice and accent by idiots in the comments because Joe Cat talks faster in some of his videos. And today, while showcasing Myth in beautiful updated glory, I wanted to address something slightly different. It's no secret that Endwalker has been a very shaky expansion. Its failure to really cater to casual, mid and hardcore players led to it hemorrhaging engagement in much the same way as my roast video. Dawntrail is largely expected to be a return to form for this MMO giant, and whilst I'm excited both by the prospect of new overarching story and the constant edging that is the Final Fantasy IX references, I can't help but find myself a little apprehensive. Not unlike being handcuffed to a radiator by Mummy for the first time, I find myself tempering my expectations based on a wider view of everything we know so far. Particularly in two instances, I feel like Dawntrail has taken some big, bold and beautiful risks. Let's talk about them. Let's start with the obvious, because it's a point regurgitated more than a bulimic's diet and has been relevant arguably since Shadowbringers. Maybe even Stormblood if you like me and have the attention span of a wait, there it is again. Since its rebirth with A Realm Reborn, Final Fantasy XIV has followed a familiar pattern with each expansion. A new MSQ, dungeons and trials at the same intervals, and then a post-MSQ spitting out expert dungeons and trials alongside branching story for a 12-chapter raid and of course everyone's favourite catch-up system, the Allied Raid. While this formula has undoubtedly provided countless hours of enjoyment for players, it also poses certain risks. At first glance, sticking to a proven formula might seem like a safe bet. I mean, why replace the sub-boss? The sex is great. But here's the thing, gaming landscapes evolve, players' expectations shift, and there's most certainly evidence that player fatigue was a corrosive factor to the Endwalker experience. But it's not just about player fatigue. By adhering too closely to a set formula, Final Fantasy XIV risks stagnation. Innovation and experimentation are vital for any MMO to thrive in the long run. Without fresh ideas and gameplay mechanics, the game runs the danger of losing its competitive edge. Just look at the other MMOs in the market. Those that dare to push the boundaries and introduce new concepts often attract attention and retain player interest, at least for a while. I'm going to be that guy I mentioned Warcraft here, but regardless of your frat culture like hate for Final Fantasy XIV's main compare, it's maintained its throne at the top through its constant attempts to innovate. Did it always work? Fuck no. I maintain that Warlords of Draenor was just a scary story parents told their kids to make them eat their vegetables, but it's been at or around the top for 20 years now, and anyone who writes that accomplishment off or tries to excuse it is just a fucking hater being intellectually dishonest. Of course there's lessons we can learn from it. I stress this point now because Dawntrail is the start of a fresh story and arguably is the perfect time to freshen things up a little. And from the information we have so far, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. At least not as radically as I'd personally like to see it. Though again, I want to reiterate before you finish that all caps no thoughts comment about how much of a dick I am. I am excited for Dawntrail. And if you are too, don't hate, just hit that subscribe button and join this LFL's fanboy-like journey to the tippy top. That being said, there is a significantly bigger risk they're taking, and I'd be remiss not to mention it whilst I'm here. The time cost of investment in this game for a new player now, certainly one recruited by and looking to play with their friends, is around 400 hours give or take. Note, I didn't calculate this, but googling it and trying to work it out returns an average of 300 to 450. This was a problem that existed in Stormblood arguably, and naturally has gotten worse each expansion. The Final Fantasy XIV story is great, and I wouldn't shit on it like I might someone who claims pineapple deserves to be on pizza, but put yourselves in the shoes of your next Jerry looking to play the game. If someone tells you right now you can play with your friends seriously after around 300 hours, how likely are you to commit to that? I firmly believe if it wasn't for the greatest modern free trial in MMOs, Final Fantasy's new player count would be significantly worse for wear. Dawntrail being the start of a new chapter would have been the perfect time to introduce a new start point for Warriors alike going forward, or provide an option of a condensed questline that teaches you the basics whilst giving you a metaphoric TLDR of the story so far. A 50-hour highlight reel questline taking you to 80 while showing you the keynotes of the story is a much more digestible requirement. Imagine a narrative tale taught by the Scions all sat around the Rising Stone in much the same way Final Fantasy VII Rebirth started. Shut up, that's not a spoiler, it's literally the demo and beginning of the game. Now I know it's too late for them to introduce this in Dawntrail, but this isn't a problem they can keep kicking down the road, as eventually the barrier to entry of this game will become too great and MMOs need new players to continue to exist. Anyways, that's enough warnings from this little guy. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Smash that subscribe button because a lot of fella day keeps bad loot RNG away, and click this to take a dive into the mind of a DID riddled veteran playing a munchkin in a Japanese game. Literally sounds like a slogan for a new form of cocaine.